Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at aerobic respiration. To understand aerobic respiration, we're going to look at the separate stages and we're going to start with glycolysis. Glycolysis is when glucose is split into pyruvate, and this is done through a series of 10 reactions. The first thing that actually happens is that the glucose is phosphorylated using an ATP molecule. So the ATP, which has 3 phosphate groups, becomes an ADP, which has 2 phosphate groups, and the phosphate group is used to phosphorylate glucose. This phosphorylated 6C sugar is very reactive and it does not pass the cell membrane, so it becomes trapped inside the cell and the rest of glycolysis can occur. The phosphorylated sugar splits into 2 molecules of glycerate 3-phosphate, which undergoes a series of reactions such as reducing NAD and phosphorylating ADP, and the final molecule is pyruvate, which is very important for the next stage. The next stage is the link reaction. The link reaction is our second stage occurring in the mitochondria. What happens here is that pyruvate loses a carbon, so it becomes 2C, and it also reduces NAD to form NADH, and the final product is a 2-carbon compound which reacts with coenzyme A to form acetyl-CoA, which is very important for the Krebs cycle. Remember all the NADHs because they're going to come in useful later. So here we have the Krebs cycle, and the 2-carbon compound from our link reaction reacts with a 4-carbon compound, and we end up with a 6-carbon compound called citrate. This citrate is transformed into a 5-carbon acid by losing an atom of carbon to form carbon dioxide and by reducing a molecule of NAD. The 5-carbon is transformed into a 4-carbon through a series of reactions such as decarboxylation, dephosphorylation to form ATP, reduction of 2 NAD molecules, and the reduction of an FAD molecule. These reduced coenzymes are really useful in our final stage. Finally, after all the reductions, the dephosphorylations and the decarboxylations, we are left with a 4-carbon compound, and this feeds back into the start of the cycle, where it reacts with another 2-carbon compound, acetyl-CoA, from the link reaction, and the cycle recontinues over and over again. So here is our final stage of aerobic respiration. It's called the electron transport chain, and it occurs in the intermembrane space of mitochondria. All of the reduced NADs and FADs are brought here. The little squares you can see represent the electron carriers, and so what happens is the reduced NAD loses its electron to the electron carriers, and the electron then passes down the chain, and as it does, protons are released into the intermembrane space. The protons are actually moved there by active transport using the energy from the electrons, but they build up here, and the point is that a pH gradient occurs and also a concentration gradient. Now that means the hydrogen atoms want to move down and out of the space, and the only way that they can do this is by going through the special pores. On the pores we have ATPase enzymes, and as the hydrogens whiz past, they provide enough energy to turn ADP into ATP. Finally, they come out on the other side, where oxygen is the final hydrogen acceptor, forming a molecule of water.